Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is a very, very special edition of the Argentina Top 10 Moments of the Year. We've been doing this since we started the YouTube channel. And, well, welcome, everybody. My name is Nemer of Mundo Albiceleste.com. I'm joined by Osvaldo Godoy, also of Mundo Albiceleste.com. We're going to run through our top 10 moments of the year. Let us know your top 10 moments of the year. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree? Did we miss something? Was there something on the list that should not have been on there? Let us know down below in the comments. As always, Osvaldo, how are you? How's everything? And in general, what did you think of the year 2024 for Argentina?
I'm doing well. I think it was a great 2024 for Argentina. We win the Copa America. We kind of achieved everything we could achieve this year. And I think that there were also a lot of players that had really good performances. So overall, I think we also talked it in another video. I think it was a 10 out of 10 of Argentina this year.
It was a very, individually speaking, it was great for a lot of individual players and collectively for Argentina. It was a great year. Winning the Copa America was the only thing that was up for grabs for Argentina this year. So it was great. And you know what? Let's just get to it. We're gonna run down the 10 moments really quickly, and we'll give our top three. Osvaldo will give us his top three. I'll give you guys my top three, and you guys better give us your top three in the comments. First things first, talking about individuals, Alejandro Garnacho, he won the Puskas Award for his overhead bicycle kick for Manchester United against Everton, and that was also named as the Premier League goal of the season. Osvaldo, I want to say it was deserved. I think it was. What did you think to kick things off in the top 10? Garnacho versus Everton, his goal, and winning the Puskas.
I think Garnacho clearly deserved that award of the Puskas. I mean, that bicycle kick was an incredible goal. Also, Walter Bo from Lanús, another Argentinian, was one of the nominees nominated for that goal, for that award. And I think Garnacho overall had a good year with some ups and downs, but that goal was by far, in my opinion, the best of the year.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. I think it definitely deserved to win the Puskas Award. And the first Argentine to win it since Eric Lamela in 2021, his Rabona for Tottenham
Rawan, I
Hotspur.
remember, yeah.
Yeah, against Arsenal. Against Arsenal. So not a bad way to kick off the top 10. Next up, this is going very different, going more into coaching. Javier Mascherano leaving the Argentina under 20 team and becoming the head coach of Inter Miami. This was big for Argentina, especially in the youth side. A lot of people wanted Mascherano out. He wasn't the most popular of figures, let's say, and people wanted Diego Placente in place of Mascherano in the under 20s. Do you think this is beneficial? I mean, this was a big moment for Argentina, at least at youth level.
Yeah, it came at the right time. I think Mascherano's era at the under 20 team was coming to an end. The fans never really liked him. And hopefully now with Inter Miami, he's able to show more as a coach that he maybe haven't showed with the under 20 team. I think he has a lot of things to learn. I still think that sometimes the criticism is too harsh on him. He's a legend of Argentina. Yes, again, as a coach, he has to learn a lot of things. Um, but I don't think he's a bad coach, in my opinion. So well, we hope the best for him in his new team with Inter Miami, his former Barcelona teammates.
Yeah, he has a couple of them there, and it's going to be very different. Coaching a national team to coaching a club team, that is very, very different. So we'll see what gives with Mascherano. Let us know, by the way, down below in the comments what you guys think so far. 2024 was a big year for Argentina. A lot happened, and we're trying to narrow it down to the top 10. Up next, we have, another thing kind of involving Javier Mascherano. It's the Olympics. The team qualified for the Olympics. It was a weird tournament for Argentina. Some players did very, very well. Mascherano got blamed quite a bit. There was some controversy. A lot happened, but you know, Mascherano, two-time gold medal winner at the Olympics as a player, unable to win it as a coach. But I still think it's fair to say that this should be in the top 10 list as well, though, considering it is the Olympics.
Definitely, definitely. And I think it all started with Mascherano trying to take the best players over 23 to that tournament. We were able to have some really good players because Julian Alvarez, Otamendi were really good. Maybe Rulli, who was the second or third goalkeeper in the Argentina senior team, um, maybe didn't do a great job throughout the Olympics. Then that first match against Morocco, where we tied 2-2, and then after an hour, it was very weird, and we ended up losing that incredible game. But we were able to win 3-1 against Iraq. We were able to beat Ukraine 2-0 in a good way. I think Mascherano showed, um, and the players, of course, some good level in those two matches. And then against France, where yeah, we had to play the home team, one of the big favorites, of course, and it was a tough match, especially from the beginning when they scored us a goal early in the match. But then I don't know if you remember it, but I think Argentina played overall even better than France.
They did play better than France, and a lot of the controversy going into the match, of course, was the fallout from the 2022 World Cup and Argentina not being very popular among among French players or French fans. So there was a lot of stuff going into that, and yeah, Argentina, I mean, kind of unlucky to lose that match and get eliminated from the Olympics for sure. But you know, I think it was always going to be an uphill struggle for the team to win the gold, just because, or one of many reasons, maybe specifically Mascherano, at least in the eyes of a lot of fans, at least in the eyes of a lot of fans. Now, going up another moment is, well, maybe not so much a moment, but something that did happen. Argentina finishing number one in the FIFA rankings once more, this time to finish up the year number one, best team in the world. Um, Not much of a surprise, Osvaldo. I mean, yes, we're Argentina national team fans and everything, but I can't see a better national team than Argentina right now. Spain might be close, but I think Argentina still edges it.
I agree. I agree because we won the Copa America. Spain won the Euros. Spain, it doesn't really count for the FIFA rankings, I believe, but they also won the Olympics. So they're doing really well. I think they're gonna be our competitor maybe in this next couple of years. We'll see where when the finalissima is played. Uh, and we'll see. We fight for that first spot. Argentina was kind of close to losing that first spot. I think if we lost the last game, but we didn't, so we're still first, and it's always good to be there in the first position. Of course, the rankings, if you compare it to tournaments, at least for me, I don't really care much. But one thing leads to the other. That's the truth. We've been winning the tournament, so now we're first in the FIFA rankings for a long period of time, and that's always good.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's, you know, if you ask me, would you prefer to win tournaments and win games in place of being number one in the FIFA rankings? Of course. You know, the rankings are rankings, but at the end of the day, it's winning games, it's winning trophies, and that's what matters the most. But if we could have both, why not? You know, why not have both? Next up, we have this is a big one, so we're going to kind of combine everything together. It's the Argentine players that won trophies with their clubs. Ezequiel Palacios, a great season with Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. Lautaro Martinez, of course, with Inter, and what a great individual season he had. Messi winning the Supporters' Shield with Inter. Julian Alvarez with Manchester City. Thiago Almada winning the Copa Libertadores. So a lot going on. A lot of Argentine players won a lot of trophies, Osvaldo, this year.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, Ezequiel Palacios giving Bayer Leverkusen their first Bundesliga ever
Yeah.
in their long history. Sometimes starting, sometimes coming from the bench, but overall an important player for them. Then Julian with Manchester City, where he was not starting most of the games, but still now you can see how important. And I think you tweeted one of these days how important Julian Alvarez was for the Manchester City. And then Lautaro, in my opinion, the best Argentinian of the year because of how important he was in the Copa America, but also talking about his league titles, how he was able to win with Inter the Serie A from the beginning to the end, being the goal scorer by so many goals compared to the second one. And Nico Paz, as you were saying, he won the Champions League. He really didn't participate much. Um, and then Thiago Almada, who was playing the MLS. We were begging him, please leave the Major League Soccer. He went to South America. We I was expecting a move from him to Europe. Now he's going to Europe to Olympic Lyon. But well, he was able to go to Botafogo and win the Libertadores, which is a massive tournament. And now Almada has a Libertadores, a World Cup. What else can you ask for him?
He's yeah, a lot of Argentine players, specifically Almada, and he's still relatively young. So him making the jump over to Europe, I could definitely see him doing well over at Lyon. But good for him winning the Libertadores, winning the World Cup as well, as you mentioned. Uh, you mentioned Lautaro Martinez probably being the best Argentine player of the year. For me, we spoke about this in the past. It's either him or Emiliano Martinez, depending on kind of who you ask. But definitely a tremendous year for Lautaro. Next up on the list, and by the way, everybody, don't forget at the very end, we're going to be giving our top 3 moments of the year. So do stick in and let us know also your top 3 moments. But up next, talking about individual players, Lionel Messi. Of course, he had to be on this list. Lionel Messi winning his 8th FIFA Best Player of the Year award. Uh, no surprise whatsoever. Messi's somehow on this list. He always is. What did you make of this, Osvaldo? I mean, everybody loves Messi.
And this was at the very beginning of the year, uh, and it also had to do with him winning the World Cup for Argentina, being the best player of the tournament. Because let's remember, the World Cup was in December of 2022, so it didn't count for that year's Player of the Award. Um, so I think that he deserved it. There was a lot of criticism also going into that award. I think he deserved it from the beginning to end. In the most important tournament of that award, that was the World Cup. He was the best player. He scored goals almost in every match. He scored 2 goals in the final. Again, he was the best player of the tournament. So in my opinion, he clearly deserved it. And yeah, as you said, the eighth FIFA the best player of the year. That's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. You mentioned the World Cup, and this obviously the voting for this was took into consideration the World Cup. But you also look at what he did in 2023, which also fell into the voting. But with Inter Miami, we spoke about the leagues, or we've spoken about the Leagues Cup in the past. But he scored, what was it, 10 goals? The free kick versus Cruz Azul, everything he did with them. It's Messi, and that's something maybe not maybe definitely only Messi could do. So congratulations to him on his 8th Best Player of the Year award. It's Lionel Messi. It's just Messi things. Speaking about individual awards, Emiliano Martinez being named as the best goalkeeper in the world for the second year. He initially won it after winning the World Cup in 2022, won it again this year. In my opinion, the best goalkeeper in the world presently at the moment. Deserved Osvaldo, and I think it definitely deserved to be in the top 10 moments.
Definitely. Great performance with Argentina in the Copa America. Great performance with Aston Villa. He clearly deserved it. I can't think of a better goalkeeper right now. And yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he also won it in 2023. So now it's his second in a row. And I was taking a look at it. It's not a very old award. And I think he's the first one. I have to double check, but the first one to win it 2 times.
Yeah. And what's nice to see as well is you see Argentine players excelling everywhere. And the goalkeepers, Emiliano Martinez. When was the last time worldwide fans all across the world were talking about an Argentine goalkeeper? Argentina's had some great goalkeepers in the past, but specifically if we're talking the last 20 to 30 years, no one unfortunately really spoke about, Roberto Amondanzieri or Juan Pablo Carrizo, or even Chiquito Romero. Sergio Romero didn't get the recognition maybe that he deserved outside of Argentina, and I'd argue even within Argentina. So to have someone like Emiliano Martinez do as well as he's doing, as you mentioned, with Argentina, with Aston Villa, it's very nice to see, and a very, very well-deserved award for him.
I was taking a look. It wasn't the best award because, as I told you, I think this is kind of a new award. But there's another award that I think Emi Martinez just won it also. Oh, he was in the team. I can't remember the name of the award, but in that award, the last Argentine that was nominated, he didn't win it, but that was nominated was Sergio Goycochea. Uh,
Wow.
so yeah, we have to go back to Goycochea. Then there were some players that were not Argentines, but they were playing in the Argentine league, like Chilabert.
Yeah.
He won it 2 times. Again, not the best award. It's a different one, but also as the best goalkeeper. So yeah, we haven't had a top one goalkeeper in a while.
In a long time. And I mean, you mentioned Goicoechea. We're going back 30 years, over 30 years now with Goicoechea. Another very good penalty penalty shot stopper in Goico. So that was Emiliano Martinez. Another moment, and we're entering our last three moments of the year. We're gonna stick. This is another Emiliano Martinez moment, but Emiliano Martinez versus Ecuador at the Copa America, the penalty shootout, saving Argentina again, Osvaldo, once more. He did it. He did it.
Yes, and it turned to be a very difficult match. Argentina being tied at the last second, or at the last couple of minutes of the match against Ecuador in that 1-1. Then in the penalty kicks, it starts really wrong with or really bad with Messi missing that Panenka penalty into the crossbar. And when you thought, or when we all thought that either we were gonna lose it or it was gonna be very, very difficult. Emi Martinez did those two first saves that gave us the confidence to end up winning that very tough game.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Argentina do not win the Copa America without Emiliano Martinez. Argentina do not win that match without Emiliano Martinez. There's the famous quote of, apparently what he told the players before the penalty shootout, before the game. He said, "I'm not going home. Like we're not going home. We're going to continue in this Copa America." And the two saves that he did, especially one of them, the one-handed save, he extended his arm, raised it. It's incredible what he has been doing for Argentina, what he continues to do with Argentina. He did it at the Copa America in 2021, did it twice at the 2022 World Cup, and doing it again at the Copa America versus Ecuador. He has been saving Argentina, and going back to earlier, it's either him or Lautaro Martinez as the Argentine Player of the Year. It's one of those two, depending on who you ask. I don't see anyone else. And I
Yeah,
love Lionel Messi, I truly do. But this year, it's one of those two players. It's
yeah,
incredible.
and that mentality from Emi Martinez, as you were mentioning, talking like that to the players before something as stressful as a penalty shootout. That's the kind of player, the kind of goalkeeper that you need in a team like this.
Oh, very much so. And then when you consider, as you mentioned, Messi missing his penalty, the first one for Argentina, psychologically that could affect the players, but it didn't affect Martinez, that's for sure, at all. All right. Now in the final two, one of them might be very, very obvious, but the other one maybe not as obvious is Angel Di Maria. His last match for Argentina, the Copa America final versus Colombia, as well as his farewell in Argentina after that. One of Argentina's all-time best players. We're not going to get into that specifically in this video, Osvaldo, but a top three, or at the very least top five all-time player for Argentina retiring, the player for the big games, Angel Di Maria.
I agree, and I think it was a perfect ending, winning that trophy of that Copa America against Colombia. He um, he received the captain. He was the captain throughout most of the game because Messi got injured, and then he finished that match being the captain, which is also another a little gesture of a great final, a great ending for his career at the national team. Um, and yeah, and then the farewell at Argentina, all things that he really deserved. He really struggled for so long in his career. Him and a lot of other Argentines like Messi, even some players like Higuain, Agüero that were not able to have that happy ending. Well, he really suffered, and he was one of the ones that were able to have that amazing ending.
Yeah, no, a very, very well deserved. And we've spoken about Di Maria in the past, but how he was able to turn his career around, or the perception that he had with the Argentina fans around completely, because there's the perception and there's the love that Di Maria received before the 2021 Copa America, and the love that he received after that Copa America, and it continued to grow. Winning the Copa, winning the World Cup, scoring in the finals, and both finals, winning again the Copa America, as you mentioned, captaining Argentina in the final after Messi got eliminated, lifting the trophy alongside Messi and Otamendi. It really, really was the perfect ending for him. We both still think he's more than capable of still playing for the national team, and we'd love for him to still be playing. Unfortunately, not so much. He has retired, but what an ending for him. Truly, truly, what an ending. And now we're down to the last spot, and now we're going to give our top three moments after this. It has to be one thing. We've spoken about it, we've just mentioned it. Argentina winning the Copa America. That has to be in this list of top 10 moments. Um, it couldn't get any bigger for Argentina than winning the Copa America this year. And they did it again, back to back champions.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe some could argue that wasn't the perfect tournament of Argentina as it might have been the World Cup. Uh, but we, at some points, we even wanted playing not the best football, especially maybe against Ecuador in that penalty shootout, but that mentality was the one that made us, in my opinion, win against matches against Ecuador, against Colombia in the final. With maybe Colombia even played better most of the game, but that mentality, those players that are always willing to win one more trophy, is what we need, and I think that's why we can. Um, be confident that these players are gonna still be chasing for other trophies because it's difficult after winning a World Cup to go and win a Copa America. It's not easy. It's not easy against really good opponents in South America. We have great rivals. So I agree. I think it has to be the top one moment of Argentina this year.
Yeah, no, no. I mean, you mentioned that, especially after winning the World Cup, and before that, they had won the Copa America, and still having that drive to want to win another trophy, winning another Copa, and they didn't do as well, or they didn't play as well as maybe they could have throughout that Copa America. They still made the final, and then if you look at the final itself, what happened before the match with the fans, with the security, with the players' families, not really being fully safe. The match starts. There's the heat going on, of course, for both teams. Colombia playing very well. Messi getting injured. It goes to extra time. Scaloni making those substitutions. The three, Lo Celso, Lautaro, Paredes, all three being involved in the goal. Uh, it has to be the number one moment, and it's not easy to do what this team has been doing. This team, Argentina's lost finals in the past. We've come very close. We all know the story. We all know how it's happened, and then to be able to do it, win the Copa, win the World Cup, win another Copa, that's number one for me, by far, by far.
Yeah, and looking into the future, uh, I think we can agree that Messi didn't have a good Copa America, and it's good to know how even when Messi doesn't really appear at his best, we have other players. We have a team coached by Scaloni that can lead us to big things, and I don't think we really had that much in the past.
No, no, no. I mean, we've spoken about Emiliano Martinez. Then you have Christian Romero, Lisandro Martinez. How well they played at that Copa America, and especially in the final, tremendous. You look at the depth in midfield. You look at Julian being very unselfish. The tournament that Lautaro Martinez had. There was so much to it, so much to it, and we're starting to see some younger players being incorporated in the team as well. So that's number one. That's got to be number one. Now, we know it's number one, at least for you and I, or at least the top three moment, but what would be your other or your top three moments out of that list, Osvaldo?
Yeah, I don't want to include all the Copa America moments because, of course, the Copa America win has to be there. The goal of Lautaro, I remember how I celebrated the goal was that could be my top one. I would just put Lautaro's goal in that Copa America, everything that involved that goal and that win. Um, and I think another my top second moment was Emiliano Martinez against Ecuador. Also, when we all thought that we were gonna lose it. It was gonna be heartbreaking because we were winning 1-0 until the minute 90. Emi Martinez appeared again, and I remember talking to my dad and be like, "He did it again!" Like I can't believe this. Those were the two moments that I was most happy in terms of related to Argentina national team throughout the year. And the third one, uh, I mean, Di Maria's last match also goes in that Copa America win and that Copa America final game. So I would exclude that. Of course, that was very important, very emotional. Um, and then I have to think about the third one. It might be, it might be Messi winning the eighth best player of the year award because of there were a lot of criticism going on at the beginning of the year and saying how, oh, Messi shouldn't win it because he's playing with Inter Miami. Um, but at the same time, again, I was very happy to see him win it after the incredible World Cup he had, and I think against those criticisms that he deserved it more than anyone, because he won the trophy um, that he has been waiting for his whole career, for his whole life, and he did it not by being playing a couple of minutes, being in the bench, just not scoring goals. He scored a goal almost in every single game and being the best player of the tournament, the best player in that final. So I think that it was nice to see all those Messi haters having to see that.
I agree with that. I don't know if everybody else agrees with that. Let us know in the comments down below. I think, look, the moments you mentioned are the absolute best moments of the year, and it's difficult to argue. It really, really is difficult to argue. I'm gonna change it up a little bit just to kind of change it up. Of course, the Copa America, that one is there. That's number one. Winning that, hands down for me, was the moment of the year. The two other ones are the ones I'm struggling with the most, just because there's so many different parts and so many different things that happen that I enjoy. Of course, Messi being named the best player in the world, that's another one. I'm not going to include that, not because I don't want to, but I want to try and separate it, have a different list from yours, although I would definitely include it. But Copa America, for sure, I would have Emiliano Martinez against Ecuador as well. I think that one was defining in terms of Messi missed his penalty. This could have gone very, very wrong. It didn't because of Emiliano Martinez. And I'm going to go with that one. So Copa America win, Emiliano Martinez versus Ecuador. The third one is the more difficult one. I'm going to nitpick a little bit, a little tiny bit, and I'm going to go with Lautaro Martinez. The trophies and the individual season that he had, scoring the goals that he did, finally getting the recognition that I think he has deserved, especially after the criticism that he received in 2022 at the World Cup when he was injured, playing on painkillers. Even though he scored that great penalty versus the Netherlands to bring Argentina to the next round, people still hated on him. People still said, he was a failure, he didn't do well. He was injured, playing on painkillers. The next tournament for Argentina, he does very, very well. And he's, along with Emiliano Martinez, Argentina's best player. Like, really, really, Argentina's best player. And of course, with Messi, too. So, Copa America final, the Copa America win, Emiliano Martinez versus Ecuador, and Lautaro Martinez, his season, his individual season, very great one. If not, of course, you could include Messi, you can include Di Maria. But as you said, Di Maria goes with the Copa final, all of that included. And Messi, I didn't include him just to be a little bit different from you, but those were my top three moments of the year.
No, I like that top three. I think Lautaro, yes, got a little bit of that recognition. I think he still deserves more
Oh
recognition
yeah,
internationally. I mean, in the Ballon d'Or, he wasn't even top five this year, and I think he deserved at least to be top two. But yeah, what a year from Lautaro.
a great year, and honestly speaking, it was a great year for Argentina. Uh, all around, really all around. Hopefully we didn't miss anything, because there's so many things that happened. Hopefully we didn't miss any moments. If we did, let us know in the comments down below, and do let us know what your top 10 moments are, what your top 3 moments are. If you agree with us, if you disagree with us, let us know down below in the comments. It's always very, very much appreciated. It really, really is. On that note, before we wrap things up, Osvaldo, any final thoughts on 2024 for Argentina?
It was an amazing year. Just to take a look at it, we left out in the top three the FIFA rankings. That we're number one in the FIFA rankings. I don't know if many national teams could do that throughout the year of letting that out of their top three of the year. So we had an amazing year. We'll see in the 2025. We really don't have many big tournaments. It's just the qualifiers, right? I mean, there's some youth national team stuff playing and stuff. Um, but then maybe the finalissima, we'll see when that happens. But it's a good preparation year, this 2025 that is coming for the 2026. A lot of question that Scaloni have to answer in terms of is Messi gonna play in the 2026 World Cup? Um, who knows? Maybe I don't think this is gonna happen. Maybe Di Maria returns to the team. Let's pray for it. I don't know. But it's gonna be a good preparation year. But I don't think 2025 can be better than 2024.
Uh, I don't know if it could be, especially when you consider that in 2024 they won the Copa America and everything. There's the Club World Cup happening next year. There's, as you mentioned, the Under 20 South American Youth Championship happening, and we're going to talk about that in a separate video when we talk about 2025. But I think 2024 was a very, very good year. It was a great year for Argentina. There were some losses here and there, a draw here or there, but overall, I don't think we could have asked for a better year for Argentina, and especially in terms of what there was to play for in terms of trophies. And let's not forget, Argentina #1 in the World Cup qualifiers. We didn't even talk about that. That didn't even make the top 10.
That's
That's
true.
how good 2024 was for Argentina. As always, everybody, let us know down below what you thought. If you like what you saw, hit the like button. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications button to be the first person notified as soon as a new video drops. Once more, my name is Roy Nemer of MundoAlbiceleste.com, joined by Osvaldo Godoy, also of MundoAlbiceleste.com. Until next time, everybody, take care. Goodbye.